Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday. It is April 1st, 2025. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope your families are safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field along with the first responders who every day are out here doing their best to save lives. And those also that pick up garbage, keep our places clean. And those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help, rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are victims of pornography, child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that create the demand that make these industries exist. Finally, blessings upon the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, and military veterans homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There's going to be a basketball game tonight at Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks are facing off against the Philadelphia 76ers. This is the first game of a back-to-back. The second being the Cleveland Cavaliers in Cleveland tomorrow. Um, well, we know so far that the three guards, Deuce McBride, Jalen Brunson, and Cameron Payne, will not be playing tonight. The Knicks announced that yesterday, which gives us the indication that if they're going to play, it would be tomorrow, and that makes sense. Also, Mitchell Robinson is not on the injured list. So I don't know if they're going to wait until around game time to say he's not playing because he's on, medical protocol for the back-to-back. Or is he going to play tonight and play tomorrow? Well, one thing is for sure. They absolutely need Mitchell Robinson to play in Cleveland tomorrow. So tonight, you're going to have the Philadelphia 76ers are going to have a rotation of Jarrett Butler, Quentin Grimes, Justin Edwards, Ricky Council IV, Gershon Yabusele, and Adam Bona. That's their rotation. Oh, Lonnie Walker, the fourth also. That's their rotation tonight. The Knicks, meanwhile, will be playing with Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and DeLon Wright, with the bench of Precious, Kolek, and Shamet. The Knicks are heavy favorites to win this game. They're 90% favorites, over 90, to win this game. Of course, this is the league. You have to play the game. What we don't want is anybody to get hurt. What we'd like is the Knicks to be in such command of the game that you can play Kolek, Shamet, guys like Daddy A, heavy minutes. Daddy A, Kolek, Shamet, McCullough. Hopefully you can play them heavy minutes, especially in the second half of the game, so that your starters and your main rotation guys can get some rest. So that would depend on how the rotation guys start this game. So if the Knicks can start out strong, nobody gets hurt, start out strong in the first quarter, the second quarter, maybe in the third quarter, you start to see more Kolek and Shamet. And if they don't give up a lead, then maybe you can keep them on the floor. So I'm hoping that Kolek will play at least 20 minutes, 24 minutes today. I'm hoping that we can get a big game from Shamet. The thing about Shamet is that he's been shooting the ball very well in the last two games. The best he shot all season, I dare say. So if he's continue that streak, if he can continue that, to have the rhythm, I expect him to be able to play a bigger mix and maybe even have a season high today. I'm looking for him maybe to have a season high in scoring today. So, and then with Kolek out there with him, Kolek is a passer, an elite passer. So I'm thinking Shamet could get some good looks today. And if that's the case, that would that would actually, you can now sit Mikal Bridges a little bit, Josh Hart a little bit, and you can get them rest because, again, tomorrow night is the big game. Tomorrow night against Cleveland. Not that we want to look past Philly, but it is quite obvious the Knicks are more equipped to win this game than the Philadelphia 76ers are. Philly is playing not just reserves, they're playing people that wouldn't even see the court if their regular rotation was here. I mean, Jared Butler wouldn't play. You wouldn't be seeing too much of Justin Edwards or Council Baselli. You'd be seeing guys like Embiid, Maxey, Kyle Lowry, you know, Kelly Oubre. You'd be seeing guys like that. Even Mark, you'd be seeing guys like that mostly. Andre Drummond, but you're not going to see any of them today. Drummond is out. Embiid is out. Lowry is out. Oubre is out. Maxey is out. Of course, all of them are out. So, now you're seeing the reserve of the reserves for Philly. Again, we just don't want anybody to get hurt. We would like the Knicks to overwhelm them in the first half so that you can really have Shamet out there with Kolek most of the second half. DeLon Wright can play a lot of minutes because if, for example, Deuce and Payne, let's say two of the three guards between Deuce, Payne, and Brunson, let's say two of those three are ready tomorrow night, then DeLon Wright, Kolek won't play, and then DeLon Wright's minutes will be cut significantly. So you can play DeLon Wright heavy minutes today. You can play Kolek heavy minutes today. But again, the problem with Kolek is the diminishing return situation. So he'll be doing very well off the bench for a while, but then, he starts giving up baskets. Then, the positive turns negative. So Philly's a good team to get Tyler Kolek a lot of minutes in this scenario that they're in right now. With Jared Butler starting at their guard, with Q-Dog, it's a good team for Kolek to get some minutes and get in the flow of a pro game and learn, defense a little bit better. This is a good game for him to practice those things. So I'm hoping that you see a lot of Kolek, a lot of Shamet. I hope we see a lot of that. And Precious. I'd like to have Precious play 30 minutes today. So if we can get our starters off early, especially in the first quarter, second quarter, if they can do their thing by the half, and maybe start the third quarter, I'm expecting halfway through the third quarter that by the time it's generally in this scenario, Kolek would come in, maybe 6 minutes left in the quarter. The third quarter, when he comes in with Precious and you have your backups at that point, that you can sit Karl Anthony Towns, you could sit Mitchell Robinson, you could sit OG Precious, not Precious, OG Hart and Mikal. You could sit those guys. You can play DeLon Wright, Kolek, Shamet. You can run the three guards. You could play Precious with them. You could play some Daddy A, and McCullough is on an injury report as game time decision, so I'm hoping he can play. But this is a game to play the youngins and to get them some reps. McCullough's day-to-day, his knee, let me see here. Yeah, it says day-to-day, ruled out on Monday. They said ruled out on Monday's game against the Cavaliers. Knicks did not play the Cavaliers on Monday. But anyway, I'm hoping McCullough, this is a good game for him to get reps. Good game for Kolek to get reps. Good game for the youngins. If you recall, Obi Toppin and Quickly's rookie season, in April, I believe that year, Obi got a 40-point game. And why? Because they blew out. They were getting ready for the playoffs. They had blown somebody out, and they put Obi in. And Tibbs let Obi play almost the whole game, and Obi went off. So I'm hoping this is that type of situation. So if the Knicks starters can play a good, solid half of Knicks basketball, which means low turnovers, strong defense, strong rebounding. If they could do that against this team for the half, they should be up significantly going into the second half. And then, like I said, I'd like to see Shamet. Uh, I want to see a season high from Shamet today. If he's shooting the ball like he's been the last two games. I'd like to see a season high for him, which means he got to get some shots up. I'd like to see him shoot at least 12, 14 times today. And then he can probably produce a season high. Then we can win this game and be prepared tomorrow. Mitchell Robinson is going to be a question. If they play him, they're definitely not going to play him more than a half. He would be significant in a blowout, controlling the offensive glass for the Knicks. So we'll see how this works out. But I'm hoping nobody gets hurt. They don't have to play the starters heavy minutes today. The reserves can play a big role today, especially Kolek, Precious, and Shamet. If they can run game today, then this could rest. They could rest guys like Josh Hart, especially whose energy are going to be needed tomorrow. Mitchell Robinson, Karl Anthony Towns, be able to rest them, okay, and let these other guys play. 24 minutes of the second half or close to it. So that's what I'm hoping. And again, the key is we don't want nobody get hurt. That's the thing. So right now we're trying to get Brunson, McBride, and Payne back. So that we will need all of them plus Mitchell Robinson tomorrow against Cleveland for sure, who's playing at full strength and rolling. So we got to really be ready for that. We just want to enjoy this game tonight. Knicks can't take these guys lightly. Karl Anthony Towns and them got to deliver knockout blows in the early rounds, and then let the reserves come in and the youngins and get their minutes. Y'all enjoy the game today. Be safe out there. So